Cheezel has got, the game goes beyond 11, and Cheezel is still around. There will have to be a new pitcher. Spagenberg delivers 1-0. Again, he bounced. Nice stop by Bob Anderson, and had he not done that, that would have been a run for New Ulm.
He's being very careful with Schmidt, who into the right center field gap for a double in the first inning. He threw him 2 breaking pitches, which hit the dirt, and the catcher knocked one of them to get the other one.
Well, Anderson now putting his mask back on. And we are ready. Spagenberg delivers 2-0, and it is 2-0. 3 balls and no strike. Schmidt, as New Ulm trying to continue its Cinderella story and take it to Kokomo. And the pitch on the for ball 4, and Schmidt is aboard. That is the second walk issued by Spagenberg. Kurt remains in the dugout, but on the field they've given a lot of responsibility to Mike Eckert, and he will come over and say something to his pitcher to try to settle. You've got runners at the corners, 2 men out, and the situation ripe for New Ulm's hot box situation, which they burned Oconomowoc with last night. And the pitch to Bloomer is low for ball 1. Bloomer flied to left his first time. Jeff Stoll going through the signs in the third base coaching box. Oconomowoc dressed in blue pants, gray jerseys, dark blue caps. New Ulm in their pinstripe trousers, black tops. First time in this tournament they've worn it will hold. The runner goes, and Anderson is going to throw to second base, and here comes Stoll down the line, and now going to break for the plate, and he will be out. And Anderson says something to Stoll, who came in with a shoulder. The coach of Oconomowoc said something to some of the New Ulm players. Now, to be able to see that Stoll did anything wrong. He just tried to get to the plate and put his shoulder down and ran into Anderson, who hung on to the ball. And that New Ulm, as Stoll is out, the first baseman Eckert to the catcher Anderson, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit for no errors, and 1 man left, and after 2.5, walk nothing. Well, Jim, Oconomowoc a little upset with the way Chad Stoll went into the plate, but hey, this is a championship game, and it's Chad's job to get to the plate, and hey, you go through the catcher. He didn't go in with his spikes up, or he didn't go in with an elbow. He just went in with a shoulder trying to get to the plate. Beaver Brewitt will start things off for Wisconsin, and he waves at the off-speed pitch, doesn't get it. It is 0-1 to Brewitt, who is robbed of extra bases on a great diving catch by Russ Trowig in the first inning.
That catch was made by the catcher about 6 or 7 feet up the baseline also.
And here's a little tapper to the right side. This will be a tough play, but the ball will roll foul. And it is 0-2.
Sometimes on a play like that, and that really wasn't a bang-bang play, it was pretty obvious that if the throw was accurate that he was going to be made, but the throw, or that he was going to be tagged out, the throw really wasn't accurate. It drew the catcher off home base, probably 5 or 6 feet, or maybe even a little further towards the third base line, and that is a potential interference type thing.
Now you're speaking from the catching standpoint?
Yes, from the catching standpoint.
0-2 to Beaver Brewitt on his way to the University of Minnesota on a full ride. Talented enough that probably could have been drafted out of high school. He chose Minnesota over Arkansas. And there's a famous person at the U from around there. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Brewitt is down on strikes. 1 man out. That is the second strikeout for Cheezel, and that will bring up Tim Fremming. And by the way, that is the 17th time that Brewitt has fanned in 174 trips. Fremming takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Fremming singled to left his first time and was stranded at third after being doubled over there by Mike Barker, and now time call, and Scott Schmidt's got a problem.
I think he's got a problem either with his glove or maybe he got a mosquito in the eye. He seems to be rubbing his eye right now.
Does he wear contacts, Jim?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, there'll be a little delay while they go out and try to figure out the problem. Let's tell you that the first round of the Class AA Amateur Baseball Tournament has been completed. Green Isle beat Lonsdale 4-3. Leavenworth over the Mankato Cubs 8-3. Cambridge Isani 3, the Waseca Braves 2. Hamel 8, Motley 3. Pengilly 8, St. Martin 5. Red Wing 10, Midway nothing. Glendon 7, Shady Brook 5. DeMarshall 6, Starbuck 2. And we are ready now. We'll pick those scores up later for you. 1-0, and the pitch, swing and a miss. A fastball in tight. Fleming had a rip and did not get it.
He has been attacking the ball out of the strike zone fairly regularly.
Fleming, a good gap hitter, and the pitch is a strike called and a beauty by Cheezel. He just came inside on him. Fleming has got good power for a shortstop, and he's been hot since July. A line drive type of hitter and very aggressive at the plate. Pitch is swung on, a little tapper toward short. Schmidt feels it near the bag, and his throw is in time, and there's 2 down. Fleming is headed for Mankato State. This is his 3rd and final year with the Legion team. Getting back to those amateur scores, Burnsville 8, Jordan 7, Arlington 8, Minnesota Lake 2, St. Cloud 12, La Center 2, Buffalo 5, Akeley 1, Kimball 4, Hill City 3, Elko 5, Perham 2, Flensburg 5, Crookston 3, and Alexandria 2, and Milroy 1. Here is Bob Anderson, the catcher, who popped to Robbie his first time at second. First pitch is low, ball 1. By the way, KNUJ, our sister station, will broadcast Green Isle and Leavenworth from Cannon Falls next Saturday morning at 11, and that will be followed by Burnsville and Arlington at 1:30. And now Aaron Allen has got a problem with his thumb on his left hand, and is that the same thumb, Jim, that plagued him earlier?
Probably is. Aaron Allen is not your typically stockily built catcher. He's about 5'10" and 160 to 65 pounds. With Cheezel and Stoll both being breaking ball pitches, and with their attempting to keep it low, he takes a beating there, both in high school and the Legion season, and that was one that bounced in front of the plate and probably caught him on a sore hand.
All right, the pitch is swung on and popped up on the infield. Chad Stoll calling for it near the line, and he makes the catch drifting back toward the mound, and that will retire Oconomowoc. 5 in a row set down by Cheezel. 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 3, New Ulm 2, Oconomowoc nothing. On the board at the end of 3, New Ulm with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they have left 2. And for Oconomowoc, I show no runs on 2 base hits, no errors, and they have stranded 3. We go to the top half of the 4th inning, and that will bring up Marshall Bloomer, who was at the plate when Chad Stoll was tagged out on a delayed double steal. And Bloomer picks on the first pitch, grounds it. Great stop by the third baseman, Barker. He gets up, throws, and guns him out. 5-3 on a nice play by Barker, who dove to his left to keep that ball from getting through into left field, and there's 1 down.
He saved a base hit on that play. The thing that he didn't do was panic and get up and throw very quickly. Those balls that ball was hit very sharply, and he had plenty of time. Just be accurate.
And the pitch is low for a ball. Russ Trowick in the batter's box. He hit a little comebacker to Spagenberg to end the 1st inning. New Ulm touched Spagenberg for 2 in the 1st. And did he check his swing? They're going to check with the first base umpire. And Don Proctor said he held up. And it is 2 balls and no strikes. Keith Winchell would be next. Dave Shavlik said something to Keith before he went into the dugout between innings. And there is a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Trowick with some power. His forte is the fastball, and they bounced that one up there. Anderson having to make another difficult stop there. Spagenberg has thrown 2 wild pitches and several more in the dirt and kept his catcher busy. 3-1 now to Bloomer, and the pitch is low for ball 4, or to Trowick rather. Low for ball 4, and Russ Trowick has drawn a walk, the 3rd issued by Spagenberg. And today, to give you a contrast, Midland walked some batters today, and 2 of them ultimately ended up scoring. They committed 5 errors, and 3 of those ended up scoring. So the value of no walks and playing sound defense, and Midland probably would have won that game today.
pitching has gotten better in that department after a bad first couple days.
Strike call to Keith Winchell, who bounced back to Spagenberg his first time. Keith came in hitting at .285. He is a 4-year starter. And I wonder if he took a little extra batting practice today. And the pitch swing and a miss. Spagenberg had him way out in front of the curveball. Winchell with good power at all fields, good line drive hitter, and he can hit the ball hard. He's stockily built at 5'7", 175, and he's got capabilities. And the pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is 4:05 to dead center here at Johnson Park. 300 down the right field line, 335 to left. It is 370 to the gap in left center, and 355 out to right center. Barker even with a bag at third. Eckert holding with a runner at first. Pitches in the dirt, and down to second base goes Trauig. That may have been a pass ball.
Yes, it was. Mark, did you ever see this park when it was 450 to dead center?
No, but I imagine that would be where the redwood fence is originally, right?
That is correct. I never saw a ball hit over there. I saw a couple that were hit off the fence, but I personally never saw one leave the park in the 450 mark.
Well, let's hope you don't see one tonight. 2-2 now to Winchell. And the pitch, strike 3 called. Spagenberg nipped the black, and home plate umpire Ty Cayley rung him up. There is 2 down, and that is the second strikeout for Spagenberg. So Winchell goes back to the dugout.
Sheasel has a chance here to help his own cause and drive in that 3rd run.
And the pitch to Cheezel is taken for a strike. Cheezel tonight is grounded to short in his only other appearance. And the shortstop Fleming playing deep. The 0-1 pitch, too low, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike.
I don't believe that Oconomowoc can afford to give New Ulm any kind of a big inning, or maybe even 2 or so more runs. Not the way Cheezel is pitching in this tournament.
1-1 pitch just off the outside corner. The count now to Mike Cheezel, 2 balls and 1 strike. He hit a 2-1 pitch to short his last time up. Jim Leslie, the number 9 man in the batting order, on deck, hoping to get an opportunity, but with 2 men out, Trauig will be off at the crack of the bat, and if Cheezel can get a base hit somewhere, it should be another run for New Ulm. But Spagenberg's got other ideas. Pitch is swung on, and he got under it. He popped it up on the infield. The shortstop Fleming calling for it, makes the catch, and that will take care of New Ulm in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 left. 3.5. It is New Ulm 2, Oconomowoc nothing. Well, watching Aaron Allen take the warm-up tosses from Mike Cheezel, he didn't appear to be suffering any effects from the injury that he suffered previous. Cheezel, of course, is the hardest thrower New Ulm has got. Now, you'll find that most catchers will use a sponge for some padding there when they're catching somebody with some pretty good heat. Cheezel's been clocked around 85 miles per hour. And let me tell you something, that is tough on a catcher's hand. Here is Mike Barker, the 3rd baseman. You catch one wrong and you know it. Barker backs away from a high fastball that is in tight. Barker doing a little double take there. Barker doubled to the gap in right center his first time, going the opposite way. Chad Stoll is on the edge of the grass at 3rd base, and the pitch is in tight. It is 2-0, so Cheezel going to try and work the right-handed hitting 3rd baseman in on the fist if he can. And the 2-0 pitch is a hook on the outside corner. Nice pitch by Cheezel, and it is 2 balls and 1 strike. And the right-hander kicks and throws, and that pitch just a shade low, and it is 3 balls and 1 strike to Mike Barker.
Not many pitchers would throw a breaking pitch on a 2-0 pitch.
And there is a strike, a fastball that is 3-2. Barker is described by his coach Kirkenwitz as a role model leader. He suffered a shoulder and finger injury in July, but played anyway. He hits for power. He was the starting shortstop on the Legion team at the age of 16 in 1983. This is his 4th year as Cheezel, well, maybe Barker has to look at the baseball, and Ty Cayley gonna give the pitcher a new one. Sometimes a hitter will pick up a scoff mark or something. And the 3-2 pitch swung on and hit to left, but Russ Trawick has it played perfectly and makes the catch. 1 down. So Barker retired on a fly ball to left field to the left fielder Trawick, and that's Russ's 3rd putout out there. And here is John Kupfer. Kupfer struck out swinging his first time, and Cheezel has set down 6 in a row.
They are not, they're pulling his fastball when they get it.
And the pitch is swung on and lifted foul on the right field line, and it is 0-1 to John Kupfer. Kupfer is a good college prospect, they tell me. First year with the Legion team. He'll be a senior in high school. And the pitch is high, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike cooking, which tells me that he's got the potential to be one of the best baseball players to come out of there. The 1-1 pitch and the slider inside, and it is 2-1.
He is a big kid physically. He looks very strong in that batter's box.
6'3", 190, right-handed batter. And he got the curveball and drilled it towards center. Jim Leslie backing up now. He's there, and there's 2 down. Well, usually when Mike Cheezel is right, you will see a lot of ground ball outs. I count 2 pop-ups in the first inning, a fly ball in the left in the second inning, and 2 more here in the fourth. So Cheezel has recorded 5 fly ball outs, and he has recorded 3 ground ball outs in addition to his 2 strikeouts.
That ball was hit real well. I would say that ball was hit 350 to 360 to center. It's a good thing this is not the Richfield or the Bramer Parks in the state tournament.
Here's Kevin Smith, and Cheezel backs him away with a hummer up around the chin area. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded towards short. Schmidt moving to his right, fields it cleanly. Here's his long throw, and it just does beat Kevin Smith. Schmidt with a good arm, and he guns Smith down 6-3. And Cheezel sets the side down for the 2nd inning in a row. That is 8 retired, 3 up, 3 down, and at the end of 4, New Ulm 2, Oconomowoc nothing. Top half of inning number 5, New Ulm 2 and Oconomowoc nothing. You know, we talked about the press box earlier in this particular ball game, about what a nice facility it really was. Johnson Park is an excellent ballpark, and I guess that a broadcast facility was the one thing that it was lacking. And a press box, you need a press box for your media, for your newspaper people, and I know this structure cost a lot of money, but it is well worth it. And it adds a nice touch to this already classy ballpark. And the first pitch is down low for ball 1 to Jim Leslie. Leslie struck out swinging against Spagenberg in the second, and Spagenberg, after a rocky first, has settled down and is pitching a very good game. There is the overhand fastball outside, and it is 2 balls and no strikes. The crowd now trying to get something going here for New Ulm. They scored 2 in the first, and that's been it. We're in the 5th now, and the pitch is low. It is 3 balls and no strikes.
He doesn't want to walk the leadoff hitter with the top of the New Ulm batting order coming up. This is how innings start. We may have something going here.
Well, Spagenberg, if I were him with this crowd the way it was, I think I would take my time. And the 3-0 pitch. Fastball inside for ball 4. About the best thing that Oconomowoc can do here to quiet this crowd is to get the first out of the inning, and that generally will settle the crowd down. It's just like in basketball, when a crowd gets fired up, if the opposition comes out and makes that first basket, they're less enthused about it. And it's going to be difficult for Spagenberg to keep his composure if indeed he lets the crowd get to him. He's got to keep in mind that he's playing New Ulm and cannot worry about that 10th man, which for New Ulm tonight is definitely the crowd. 4 walks off of Spagenberg.
I just looked down on the left field line, and we have fans for the first time, Mark, sitting on the bank down the left field line.
We're over 6,000 in tournament attendance. We had about 311 today. Here's Brian Robbie, who's hitless in 2 trips, and the pitch is a hook to him for a called strike. Brian grounded to second in the first, bounced to third in the third. Up here for the 3rd time tonight. Now time is called by the second base umpire, Bill Taunton, and he's pointing at something, and apparently it has been corrected. Or 2-0 rather. 0-1 to Robbie. Pitches a comebacker to Spagenberg. He turns and throws the ball between the shortstop and the second baseman into center field. Trying to go to third and safe at third base is Jim Leslie as Beaver Brewitt appeared to get the throw ahead of Leslie, but Leslie slid in under the tag, and alertly going to second base is Brian Robbie. Now the pitcher Spagenberg is going to get an error for that, but I want to tell you folks that the shortstop Fremming and the second baseman Benson were right there, and the other one thought the other one was going to take the throw, and consequently the ball went into center field.
The throw also hit on the infield side of second base. It was not a good throw. He did not get it up to try to hit him in the letters in that situation, and he added to his own problems here because New Ulm really has a threat going now with runners on second and third and nobody out. The 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up.
First error of the game on Oconomowoc. Here is Chad Stoll, who is walked, singled, and scored. Spagenberg delivers outside, ball one.
Interesting decision here. Chad Stoll is a pretty fair bunter. However, I don't know if they'll be trying to squeeze a third run in and let Aaron Allen and Schmidt swing away.
And the pitch is low, and Anderson with a nice pickup. It is 2 balls and no strikes. Well, with first base open, I would, well, here comes Kirkenwitz. We've got activity down in the Oconomowoc bullpen, going down to loosen up. Cook will catch him. It'll be Kevin Smith. No, it can't be. It's got to be Paul Smith, who pitched last night. We've got 2 number 12s. Now Jeff Stoll. He wants to talk with his base runners, Leslie and Robbie, and he's doing so in foul territory. The count now to Chad Stoll is 2 balls and no strikes. And, of course, the kid that's warming up out there, Paul Smith, pitched a super game last night. New Ulm jumped on him for a 4-0 lead, but then he slammed the door, and Oconomowoc came back to get 8 runs and win the ball game.
Robbie made an alert decision taking second base on that throw from the center fielder.
Here is the bunt attempt, and Stoll lays off, and the pitch is taken for a strike.
I think
2 balls and 1 strike, and I'm sure that Chad had no intention of bunting. He just wanted to see what everybody was doing. Eckert at first and Barker at third are in on the grass. Outfield is straight away. And the pitch is low, and it is 3-1. Well, if Stoll would get on, the bases, if he walks, Aaron Allen and Scott Schmidt are the next 2 hitters. 3-1 now to Chad Stoll. Runners on second and third, Leslie and Robbie, and the pitch is out. A strike called. Holy cow. Well,
I saw it like you did. I thought that was ball 4.
I don't know. Maybe Cayley wants an aggressive hitter in there. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes, but that was ball 4. The pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play.
Same location, and Stoll went after that one.
It just barely got a piece of it.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I wonder if the catcher screens the umpire a little bit here, and they don't see that, or it depends a lot on where an umpire stands, too. Now, Cayley, I notice, is over Anderson's left shoulder. 3-2. The pitch is swung on and popped up. The second baseman is calling for it. Jason Benson on the edge of the outfield grass, and there is 1 big out. So Stoll hits a 3-2 pitch to the second baseman, Benson. 1 big out here for Oconomowoc, and that will bring up Aaron Allen. Allen tonight has singled and scored and grounded out to the shortstop, Fremming.
He's hit the ball hard both times. The first inning single was a rope right up the middle.
Here's the pitch to Allen, outside for ball 1, and almost the same location that they called the strike on Chad Stoll.
During the high school season and most of the Legion season, Aaron is the one man that you like to see up in this situation.
And the pitch is outside. It is 2-0. Well, New Ulm had better get something in this inning, because that would really pump up Oconomowoc here to have Spagenberg get out of this. And New Ulm, with a 2-0 lead, knows from experience last night that this Oconomowoc team is never out of a ball game. And the pitch on the way is swung out and drilled toward right, backing up the right fielder. Kupfer back on the train, makes a catch. Taking it third and scoring is Leslie, and sliding into third base is Brian Robbie. Oh, did Aaron Allen get all of that? And I mean, he hit it to the warning track in right field. just to the right of the 355 sign, right beside the first light standard out there. Big RBI for Aaron Allen. Number 54, it is 3-0.
Kepfer made a pretty good play of that. He didn't turn. He kept backing up and then backing up. I thought for a minute it was going to be over his head, but he is 6'3", and he caught it right at the top of his range and then smashed into the fence.
Well, there is 2 men out, and they are having a conference on the mound now. The third baseman, Barker, and the catcher Anderson, and the pitcher Spagenberg. And those 2 guys have been with his club for 4 years, and Spagenberg is relying on them. They may have some thoughts on how to pitch Mr. Schmidt, who has doubled and walked tonight. And his double in the first inning scored Chad Stoll with the first run. Now we've got an appeal play at third and safe over there.
They were saying that the runner had tagged up too soon on that caught fly ball.
Well, now, you know, that happened to New Ulm twice this year during the high school season.
We lost some runs in the region tournament.
Right. Unfortunately, it didn't cost you. And here's a pitch grounded towards second base. It's off the glove of the second baseman Benson. All hands are safe. It is 4-0. It'll be an error on the second baseman Benson. Robbie scores. It is 4-0, and that is error number 2 on Oconomowoc.
That was a very costly error, and I guess as we went on the air tonight, we commented that pitching and defense is what wins ball games for you, and New Ulm's pitching has been the superior of the 2, and so far their defense has been flawless.
Well, Marshall Bloomer picks on the first pitch and lifts it high in the air to center field, but right at Beaver Brewitt, and he makes the catch, and that will do it for New Ulm in the 5th inning. But they come up with 4 runs without a base hit. There were 2 errors and 1 man left, and the score at the end of 4½, New Ulm 4 and Oconomowoc 0. Well, you can't help but feel for Rich Spagenberg. He doesn't give up a hit and 2 runs score. And in the ball game now, he has given up a total of 3 hits and is down 4-0, and it's got to be very, very frustrating for him. Well, here comes Oconomowoc as they will try to get their pitcher some runs, and Jason Benson takes the first pitch in for a strike. And Benson grounds one foul in the third base coach's box, and the count now to Jason Benson, 1 ball and 1 strike. Benson has got a walk in the game here tonight. And this afternoon, Benson was up 4 times, had a hit, and scored a run. He hit in the number 9 spot today. He can play left field as well, and the pitch is outside, and it is 2 balls and 1 strike. As a matter of fact, when Beaver Brewitt pitches, John Kopfer goes to center field, and Benson is inserted in left field. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Oh my gosh, what a pitch by Cheezel. You talk about taking something off that. That was almost in slow motion coming to the plate. Benson is down on strikes. That is the first out. The 3rd strikeout now for Mike Cheezel tonight. And Cheezel has retired 9 in a row now. And here is Mike Eckert, the first baseman. What a pitch.
Very excellent let-up pitch. He probably throws his fastball at 82 or so. That probably came in at 50 miles an hour.
And the pitch is a hook in for a strike, and Cheezel is looking very sharp tonight. And I'll tell you what, if New Ulm wins this game and does go to Kokomo, there's your MVP of this series, and the pitch is inside, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think the scoreboard was wrong on that last hitter. It had him one strike when he ended up striking out.
Here's the pitch, poked into right field, a base hit. As that time Eckert goes the opposite way. Keith Winchell examines the ball and then gets it back into the infield. And for Oconomowoc, that is hit number 3, and that breaks the string of consecutive men retired by Cheezel at 9. And we are going to get a pinch hitter here. It is going to be Paul Smith. And Paul Smith was the pitcher last night, and I got to believe that he will be the pitcher when New Ulm comes to bat in the top of the 6th, and Smith was the one that shut New Ulm down last night after New Ulm jumped out to a 4-0 lead. So Spagenberg will be gone here after 5 innings. And the pitch to him is a high, tight fastball. 1-0. Both Smiths are in the lineup, Kevin and Paul. They are not related, but they both wear number 12. Paul Smith hitting at .414, and the pitch to him is high. It is 2-0. He hits .414 with 3 homers and 35 RBIs. He's 3 for 8 in the tournament. And now we've got Jeff Stowell coming to the mound, and somebody is loosening up out beyond the left field fence out there. I think that is Kurt Forbrook, which will be closest to the outfielder Traurig, and I can't tell who's on the hill, but that is just a guess. My eyesight is not what it should be. That's a long way out there.
Number
but I think
7, I think.
Is it number 7?
Number 7 was the other one.
That would be Gleisner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Gleisner and Forbrook.
Well, here is the pitch to Smith. And
the hitters coming to the plate.
well, that will bring up now Tim Fremming. Fremming has singled and grounded to short with 2 on and 2 out, and he takes the hook in for a strike. A nice pitch by Mike Cheesel. The pitch to Fremming is swung on and drilled towards center and caught by Jim Leslie. And that will retire the side in the 5th inning as Leslie comes in and makes a diving catch for Oconomowoc in the 5th. 2 hits, 2 left at the end of 5. New Ulm 4, Oconomowoc nothing. Well, your new pitcher is Paul Smith. And he is a very familiar face, as he was the pitcher last night who defeated New Ulm. And we will first of all tell you that Spagenberg went 5 innings, faced 23 men, gave up 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, just 3 hits, 1 of which was a double, struck out 2, and he walked 4, and he stands to be the loser if things continue the way they are. Here is Paul Smith. Smith last night pitched 8 innings. Check that, he pitched 9 innings, faced 38 men, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, allowed 9 hits, 1 double, struck out 1, walked 4 in that 8-4 victory. This is his 18th game. He has completed 7. We'll give you the rest of his numbers in just a minute as Russ Traurig steps in to face him, and the fastball is swung on, grounded toward third. Barker takes 1 step, and the low throw, but a nice pickup by Mike Eckert at first base. And there is 1 down. Traurig retired 3rd to 1st.
We've seen some nice first base play in this tournament. There have been a lot of low throws, first baseman stretching out and sucking it up like vacuum cleaners. There was another example.
96 2/3 innings for Smith, 95 hits, 61 runs, 41 earned. His ERA 2.96. He's walked 60, fanned 69. His record is 12-1, and he's got a save. And the first pitch to Keith Winshuttle is high for ball 1. He pitched 8 innings against Maynard in the victory there, beating them 7-6. 9 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts. Smith has got a fastball that's not overpowering, but he's got some movement to it. And the pitch is swung on and hit high in the air towards center, but right at Beaver Blewett. He hardly has to move, and there's 2 down. So quickly, 2 down as Smith comes on and appears to be picking up right where he left off last night, as the pitcher Mike Cheesel will come up. Smith changes speeds with his curveball very well, keeps the ball down, usually will get ahead of the hitter, has excellent control, and he'll draw the very tough assignments for this Oconomowoc team. He is mentally tough, and coming into this inning, into this game, he's got 3 innings of pitching availability left and 2 appearances, which means he could pitch as far as the 8th for Oconomowoc. He's retired the first 2 men to face him here. And the pitch is high for a fastball. A high fastball to Cheesel. Ball 1. Cheesel has bounced to short and then popped to short. And he delivers the fastball low. 2 balls and no strikes. New Ulm with 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 5th. They've got a 4-0 lead. Last night they enjoyed the same margin, as there is a strike called. 2 balls and 1 strike. Last night, New Ulm scored 1 in the first and 3 in the top of the third, only to see the Oconomowoc come back with 4 in the bottom of the third. Here's a drag bunt attempt, and Chiesel missed it, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes, and then it stayed 4-4 until the bottom of the 8th when Oconomowoc came up with 4 more and beat New Ulm 8-4. 8 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors, 5 left. New Ulm 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, 7 left. Smith the winner last night, and Bobby Sulner the loser in relief, and the hook is in tight. And Chiesel now has worked the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with Jim Leslie due up here next. Smith is in his 2nd year. He DH'd during the year when you could use that. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and Chiesel is down on strikes. First strikeout for Paul Smith, and the 1-2-3 inning. 3 up, 3 down, and after 5 1/2, it is New Ulm 4, Oconomowoc nothing. Okay, here we go to the bottom half of inning number 6. And we've got a defensive change for New Ulm. I believe Kurt Forbrook is now in right field as a strike is called to the catcher, Bob Anderson. Anderson, the catcher, swings and drills one back and out of play here. Anderson is hitless in 2 trips, both pop-ups, once to Robbie and once to Chad Stoll. So Kurt Forbrook has been inserted as a defensive replacement for New Ulm. And the pitch to Anderson, outside, and it is ball 1. On deck is Mike Barker, the cleanup hitter, and then it'll be John Kupfer, the number 5 man in the order. Pitch to Anderson, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Chiesel challenged him with a high fastball. Anderson couldn't resist it, and there is 1 down. That is the 4th strikeout for Mike Chiesel, and Anderson has struck out for only the 5th time in 155 trips.
That was a pitch that was up out of the strike zone. I'm sure he's kicking himself for having attacked that one.
Well, there's been a lot of hitters that are good fastball hitters that can go up and get those and hit them out. Here is Barker inside for ball 1, and it could be that he was a little upset for missing that pitch more than anything else, because it was an 1-2 count there. And Anderson's been around long enough to know that it might have been out of the strike zone. And the pitch is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. It may be now that Oconomowoc is just looking for a spark here. They just need something to get back into this, because right now it has been all Chiesel. It has been defense for New Ulm, and New Ulm has gotten some runs, some timely hitting. And New Ulm seems to have it running on all 3 cylinders tonight. And the pitch is swung on and grounded through the hole into right field, a base hit. So Barker has his 2nd hit. He had a double earlier, and now he has a base hit, and that is the 5th for Oconomowoc, the 6th for Oconomowoc.
Robbie came within a foot or so of, on that dive, knocking that ball down and making another great play.
Well, I was right the first time. It's only their 5th hit. Here's John Kupfer. And he lays off the breaking pitch outside for ball 1. Kupfer is struck out swinging and flying to center. And the pitch is swung on and drilled toward right, but hooking foul off the redwood fence. Just foul, 300 feet from home plate. And I believe Oconomowoc is starting to time that off-speed pitch from Mike Chiesel. And Mike may be forced to go to the fastball a little bit more, because it appears that Oconomowoc is beginning to believe that that will be his bread and butter pitch, and they've hit some balls hard off of that breaking pitch.
He really drove that one. It was within 5 feet of being fair, and it hit 3/4 of the way up the redwood fence right at the 300-foot marker. It was very close to being a home run.
Throw to first, and diving back in is Barker, and he had better not wander too far off the bag, or Chiesel is very adept at picking him off. He's got 16 stolen bases. Here's a ground ball to second. Could be 2. Robbie to Schmidt for 1. Here's the relay. In time. No, they call him safe. They call him safe. I can't believe it. I thought for sure they had him doubled up.
I think Bloomer pulled his foot on that play.
Well, that could have been the only thing. That could have been the only thing, because the relay was there in time. So The throw was a good one. So Barker, the lead man, is cut down. 4-6 for the second out, and I guess that is the only nice thing to come out of that. They got the lead up. They got the lead man, and the first pitch is, or the pitch is a strike to Kevin Smith. Swing and a miss. He went after the off-speed pitch and didn't get it. It is 0-2. Smith will try and walk on at the University of Minnesota. He's been a clutch hitter in the tournaments here, and the pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Smith today was 2 for 3, drove in the game-winning run with an RBI, and the pitch is in tight to him. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You're going to see the breaking pitch low and away.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Smith with a runner on, and the pitch is inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Smith has struck out 29 times, the most on the club, and there is the pitch inside for ball 4.
You know, Mark, any time that Oconomowoc has threatened in this ball game, it has always been with 2 outs. Have they gotten the leadoff hitter on at any time in this ball game?
No, they have not.
They had a threat going last inning with 2 outs, and the last out of that 5th inning was a line rope to center field that Leslie was positioned properly for.
Well, here's another dangerous hitter, Jason Benson, with a walk and a strikeout, second baseman. Fastball, strike called. We are in the bottom half of inning number 6. New Ulm 4, Oconomowoc nothing. Off speed, outside, 1-1.
One of the observations that I've had during this tournament is that the New Ulm pitching staff does a better job than anybody in the tournament.
Hook, strike call on the outside part of the plate. Nice pitch by Cheezel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Eckert in the on-deck circle hoping for an opportunity here.
I didn't get to complete what I was going to say of holding runners at first base. I just haven't seen any of these other 7 teams pay much attention to base runners.
Benson will try and walk on at Western Kentucky after this season. Fastball, foul back. Benson guessing all the way. Benson played left field most of the year. He plays in center when Brewitt pitches. He can play some second and some third. He has a little bit of power. You can't take him lightly. Yep.